All right, testing, testing. Just going to test. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. All right, we're good. All righty, everybody. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to PokeMart TCG, where today, guys, we're going to have a little bit of a different discussion now. Normally, I'm doing video games and stuff like that. Streaming COD Zombies. I got up a Burger Time screen here, but we're not playing Burger Time, obviously. We're going in and talk a little bit about the market. No, I'm not a professional back screen or anything, shielding Pokemon products and sealed products and expensive cards and booster boxes in my background. But you may see some of that in the future. You may see a storage unit shot in my background or something like that. But it's not here to brag about what I do in a hobby. It's just about what you know I do, right? That I buy, sell, trade. Before I go any further, I want to do some shout outs because I think these shout outs are highly deserved to people that I follow in the hobby, people that have been following me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the knowledge that I got from these people. If you want to say it's knowledge, I've been in a hobby for some years. I'll just go and do shout outs first, and then we'll talk about that. So first shout out, Bennett Productions, my dude, appreciate you. Uh, what's his name? Patet's Power Channel, appreciate you. X Zone Vinny, Epic Tube HD TV, Alex from Nostalgianomics, Northwoods, Andy over there. Appreciate you guys. PokeRev, Sean from PokeVault. Appreciate you. He rated my channel one time. I just want to shout him out. Appreciate you. Cool Trader Ryan, CTR. Some of you guys may not like these guys. See some of the guys that kind of came in on the raid when my channel got raided from PokeVault. Whether they came in to really support me or to really raid, whatever. You know, I had some controversy over that. Some talks. I'm not going to even name channels that were telling me, but it is what it is, guys. You know, I'm here to enjoy the hobby. If I got support, I got support. If I don't, I'm still here. I'm enjoying what I do. And that's mainly why I came to YouTube, because I like to showcase a lot of the stuff that I do. And, you know, it's more than Pokemon, right? Little background about me. I've been in retail many, many years. I've been in buy, sell trades. I've been in through the video game. I've been in through the sports card crash, boom, bang. Experienced that. I had Kobe Bryant rookies and all that kind of stuff. I bought, sold, and traded Gloria Rothstein in White Plains County Center, wax boxes. I experienced the crash. I bought into sports cards. I exited sports cards. All right, after following the Bulls with Michael Jordan's reign, through Michael Jordan's father passing and Michael Jordan going to play baseball, I exited the hobby because I felt that the sports card market was, yes, it was saturated at the time of OPG and all these different companies that came out in the 90s with sports card. It got oversaturated, and a lot of the companies that are out today or here are not in today. A lot of companies faded with that collapse, and you know, we look at Flair. Flair is no longer making sports cards. There are a lot of other companies that just came back, like Top Stadium Club started coming back. So some of these companies we lost, but some of them we lost for good. I was part of that boom bang in sports cards. I sold a $3,500 collection at a at a Hilton hotel card show for like $350. The vendors, because of the amount of saturation of cards, really didn't want to pay a lot for the stuff, and they were paying low percentages. All right, low percentage compared to what Pokemon is doing, right? So I got kicked in the rear for my cards. I wanted to get out of the hobby. I wanted to get out of sports cards. So after, the whole thing with the Bulls and then the sports cards, all the sports card guys, in my eyes, did not have the heart to want to win championships. I mean, Patrick Ewing from the Knicks, he was running hard as he could to get that ring. Jordan, the Bulls, the dynasty that was built with the Chicago Bulls, you saw the players. They had heart. They had heart in the game. They wanted those championships. They wanted to win, right? So with that collapse of the sports cards, I saw that the players in coming to the game no longer really had the heart to win championships, because a lot of strikes stuff started going up with not sports cars, but with the sports players striking, and everybody wanted to strike. So that made me make my decision on exiting video games. I mean, I'm not video games, exiting sports cards, guys, exiting sports cards. And I got out of the sports cards. And it wasn't until after COVID that I finally decided to jump back into sports cards, and I started buying some sports cards just to flip and make some extra money on them, because everybody buying sports cards, right? So I dabbled in some sports cards, and I said, what's really not for me? I'm not even opening this stuff. I opened a few packs. I really, it wasn't really a thing for me, so I decided to sell off my cards. It was really a sell-off, but I traded them to Let's Go TCG, a local card shop in my own area, okay? My own area, my hometown of New Windsor, New York. Traded them off to Ray. He had just opened up his card shop, and I traded away my cards to him, the sealed stuff to him. On that end, he wanted to expand. I guess because distro, he couldn't get that stuff, and you had to have enough time in to get it. So he was mainly Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and One Piece. So he didn't have sports card allocation. He only had Pokemon, One Piece, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. So, I sold all my sports cards, traded them to Ray. I got credit, and out of the credit, I ended up getting Roaring Skies booster box, some other roll cards and stuff. So that was kind of my take on that stuff. And a little bit of insight on me. Like I said, I've been in the sports card boom and the crash. I've been in a video game crash that happened where video games were overproduced and everything like that. And then that collapsed, and then kind of subsided, and it regained people to come back. And it's still here today. But here, guys, we're I've been around a lot of different hobbies. I've been in Beanie Babies. All right. I've been in the boom for Beanie Babies. I've been in the crash for Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies gone. It's never gonna. Well, I'm not gonna say never, but there is a chance that something could come. Now we get these La-La Boopies or something like these La-La Bullabies or something like that. CTR was doing these little chase. I call them Beanie Babies or trolls or whatever. These little dolls. They look scary. You got chases. I mean, who's to say Beanie Babies won't come back, right? But I made money in Beanie Babies. and I sold. I took a L on that. I took an L on Beanie Babies. You know, a big loss because I had to sell everything after the collapse of them. I sold them all for like $1 a piece, and I had a lot of Beanie Babies, guys. But it didn't mean that after the collapse of Beanie Babies, even after the collapse of sports cards, that I gave in, that I gave up, that I turned my back to uh, those hobbies.
Hey.
And well, I did turn my back to those hobbies, but I didn't turn my back to collecting or looking outside the box to try other things. I still moved on. I played video games, and that's what made me the video game fanatic that I am today. I still collect. Um, and somehow during the video game, uh, my video game journey, after having a flea market that I was set up in, I got rid of all my video games, got rid of all the video games that I started when I was selling in the flea market. I sold them all, but uh, I made financial gains on those. But I didn't exit the hobby of video games like to leave because it's not doing good. I wanted to devote my time to do more things in Pokemon. So I got rid of a lot of video game stuff, and I think Pokemon is a little more better for me. Unless at least it takes a little more, um, takes up less space, right? For me, as far as stocking products and stuff. For me, it took a little less space, and it was more. I enjoyed it a lot more. All right, so outside of the flea market aspect of stuff, I still enjoyed it. All right, but we're really not here to talk about me. I just wanted to give you guys a little background of me, and we can go more into that down the road when I do more videos for you guys as a full, coming back to YouTube after I finish up what I got to do for everything that I talked about a year ago with you guys. That's still in process, guys. It's still in process. Um, but I've seen a lot of changes in Pokemon coming into this hobby now. And, while I'm not back to YouTube, right? While I'm not here, um, I've seen a lot of changes, guys, going down, a lot of things going on in the hobby, a lot of critics. You got people bashing each other and YouTubers against each other, and the investors are taking a lot of heat. And then you got people that love to cause drama and cause discern among the ranks. And you got a lot of new people in here that get right in there. And it causes a lot of alarms to go off in my head, watching people pit up against another people or cause an army of people to go against one individual. I don't think that it's right that we do that as a community that we all love, enjoy. It's all for clicks and views on YouTube, and I realize that. And I want to say this, guys, going into this conversation, that anytime you get into a hobby, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, sports card collecting, video game collecting, though it can be enjoyable, it can also disrupt family life, all right? And you can go into debt. You can overindulge yourself. I want to say this. Whenever you get into something, collectible, video games, something you like, people go golfing and all this stuff. Please, please do yourself a solid, guys. Go on a budget. All right. Set up a budget system on this is what you're spending every week, every month for this stuff, and you can enjoy it a lot better. All right. So, going forward, guys, let me set this up. So, I was trying to see if I could stream it to YouTube, but YouTube doesn't allow you to stream YouTube on a TV, or at least it wouldn't let me put it up. So I want to,
Can I give that a smell?
let me get this set up. Hopefully you guys can hear. I'll double check the volume.
So I'm completely.
All right. So this video has gone out all over with this guy, Slim Rick 6. Shout you out, dude. I feel for you. I hope that you can, you know, find it in yourself to come back and enjoy what you loved. But there were some fatal mistakes that you did that caused you to ultimately defeat yourself. Um, One thing in Pokemon, guys, is guys, you could get and anything you collect, you can get into loving something, and then it could be your worst enemy. And a lot of things that I seen in Pokemon is FOMO, content creators pushing, gotta get it, gotta get this, gotta get it now, or if they show their top card could be this guy, they'll say, hey, well, this Galosapod GX PSA 9, this is one that you should be going after, or I love this card out of this set. And you guys should be making your own informed decisions, not going by what I say, not going by what PokeRed says, not going by what Sean from PokeVault says. If we like something, that's because we like it, right? Doesn't mean that you have to like the same things. Collect what you collect what you love, right? Buy what you want, all right? But go on a budget system when you go in here into this hobby because it can be an expensive hobby. It can break you. It can break you. It can disrupt family life. It can shatter bank accounts, certainly, if you're not going about it in the right manner. And there's measures that this guy probably did not take because after watching the video, I'm hearing him and how he was doing his things. We're going to go over things. Going to go over it, going over the video so I can break it down to you guys. And I'm going to try to hold this up. I mean, you guys seen it already, but I'm going to give you my professional opinion. And I'm not a professional, but I made mistakes, guys. I made mistakes. But learning and dealing with people that I know, I am able to not escape the threshold of doom, right, in this hobby. But I'm making informed decisions on what I'm doing. And ever since I got into Pokemon, I started on a $25 budget. All right. And clearly, step one, if you're going to be in this hobby, you need to go on a budget. All right. And be able to control yourself. And obviously, there were some mistakes like this guy did that I ultimately think that he did it to himself. But hey, if you got an extra hobby because you're making mistakes, there's going to be more people right now in this boom making a lot of mistakes. And then you're going to have the investor dudes, yeah, the people like me that, hey, are looking for those deals on Facebook, eBay. There's going to be people that are going to try to wash their hands of this hobby because 95% of the people that I think are in this hobby right now, guys, are the people buying just to sell. And you guys, they label these people as scalpers. All right, we'll talk a little bit more about that, but you know, let's talk. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Done collecting Pokemon cards. I've completely retired. I've completely put the idea of opening packs, opening boxes, ETBs, UPCs, you name it. I'm done collecting Pokemon cards. And I'm not a lifetime Pokemon card collector. Rather, I'm a lifetime Pokemon fan. So I grew up on the video game. I didn't start collecting the cards heavily until 6 months ago. Now, as a kid, I had my little collection, you know what I'm saying? I had my little starter boxes and what have you, but I couldn't really collect on the magnitude that I was collecting on a few months ago. And I want to just kind of explain my reasoning and my opinions on what's going on and why I feel the way I feel about um, collecting Pokemon cards and what I really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because for the last 6 months, I got to really
How to kill all mosquitoes in the area in just minutes.
Well,
This
now we
simple
got
but
this
brilliant
thing
trick
going
you can
on.
do tonight to eliminate all.
See the ins and outs of the industry.
I should get my tripod.
Hobby. I even got to work as a rip and shipper at a popular card shop. But yeah, so it all starts last year. I go to Japan, I believe in December, and Japan has this very embracing culture towards anime, video games, collectibles, and when you go to Japan, in some of these cities, they have entire towns dedicated. They have towns that's dedicated to anime, video games, computers, just like pretty much like nerd central, right? And I'm in Japan. I'm going crazy. I'm collecting video games. I'm collecting video game systems. I'm buying new Nintendo 3DSs. I'm buying the PS Vita. You know what I'm saying? Just everything. In Japan, they have these stores where um they just have Pokemon cards just on the wall, just lined up, right? You just walk around the store, you can pick the Pokemon cards that you want. So by the time I got back from Japan, I had a stack of Pokemon cards like this. And this is a person that doesn't normally collect Pokemon cards. So I get back to America, and one thing I didn't mention about Japan is that in Japan, like all the Pokemon you're trying to buy in Japan is way cheaper than what you're paying over here in the United States. So a pack of Pokemon cards over here.
I want to stop right there for 1 second because not once did you hear this guy say, hey, I went over to Japan. I didn't have no budget set up, you know, and I'm not sure. I think he's kind of new to the hobby too, guys, but he collected stuff as a kid, right? But he went over to Japan, and although the cards were cheaper in Japan, he went over there. He was buying video games. You hear him. I was buying video games, PS Vita games. Even though the games were cheaper or the cards were cheaper, he did not say he set up a budget system. There was no kind of budget system in place to what he spent. And this in this video, he goes into that he had a stack of cards, right? Bought a stack of cards. You know, I'm sure he bought some good cards, but yeah, they were probably cheaper because they're Japanese, right? But he didn't have no kind of like budget in play. Went over there, so all these cards, and this is what you guys fall victim for right here. All you guys that go in here, you FOMO in because you hear PokeRev pump up or Diddy pump up, right? It's to be decided, right, on whose side of the Celebi alt art. And then you go on TCG Player, you order them all up. So when you find cheap cards in Japan, right, you're over there, you say, oh, wow, you got a limited amount of cash. You say, oh, I'm going to charge up. So what do? You take your credit card, you charge up, you start buying all kinds of stuff. And that's what I see right now in this hobby. All the Walmarts, Targets, everybody's buying everything up. You guys are running in there, buying everything. I see people buying the cards that are just common and uncommons with a chance to get that Rayquaza V alternate art in that pack for $7.49, and it's all commons and uncommons. You get a couple foils. I could sell you that stuff cheap. You guys want to buy those? I'll give you 30 cards for $1. You want to spend $7 and get 5, 10 cards and reverse hollows? Hey, you guys want to continue to buy those? I'll sell you them in bulk, baby. I'll put them up in tea bags for you, $1. You can take all my bulk away. I'll give you some reverse hollows in there too. Hell, I'll throw in a couple hollows here and there for you as well. $1 makes you holler. There's some fatal mistakes, guys, that people are doing right now. And there's a lot of new people that are entering this hobby doing the exact same thing that this guy did. You didn't put a budget in system. You're buying the hell out of anything you find at Walmart, Target, and you're most likely charging it up on a credit card. And then when hell hits high water, baby, you got to flash sale all that product just to get your money back because the credit card bill is due. Maybe some mistakes that this guy did too, but we're going to go into it. I got to get my tripod, guys, so I don't have to stand here holding this. Let me see if I have it here. But I don't want to stand. I don't know. But let me see if I can find my tripod here, so I can. I want to set my phone up on this tripod. All right, I got my tripod here, guys. Just give me a minute to set my phone up. Up. All right. So we can watch this together, and then I'll have to. All right, so there we go. All right, let me get this this video back up for you guys. Sorry I have to do it this way, but YouTube wouldn't let me put it up, and we'll go through what this guy is going through.
It could be like $7 in Japan. A pack of Pokemon cards is $1. So everything.
A pack of Pokemon cards in Japan is $1. Wow.
Right there, and it's tax free. They're not charging you taxes on none of this stuff. So you can
no
buy
tax.
Video games at a fraction of the price. I think a PlayStation 2 in Japan is like $30 for real. It's just if you have the baggage space in your luggage to actually get it back over here, but you could go on a haul. You could
go on a haul. Go on a haul.
At a reasonable price. Let me just give you an
Sounds like a Walmart restock to me. Like, hey, I got $100 budget.
Ruby and Sapphire, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire for Nintendo 3DS. These games right here, over here, like $60 games. In Japan, these are like $15 a piece. And then when you have it, you get it converted to English on your 3DS.
Sorry about the ads, guys, but that's the way it's going here. Whoop. I'm setting up my tripod so I can put it on the floor here. Let me skip this.
In the cartridge, because the cartridge got all the languages on it. So, yeah, just like that, I'm in Japan, I'm buying video games, I'm buying Pokemon plushies, I'm buying Pokemon cards, I'm buying Nintendo 3DS systems.
Yeah, he's going on a...
What's happening all afternoon, fam? Have we hit the like button yet and shared the channel on all your social media sites?
You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like satisfied with where my gaming collection is at. I just have Nintendo DS games. That's it. That's the only thing I collect is like Pokemon games, Nintendo Switch games. That's the only thing that's like collectible to me is Pokemon stuff. But I got this itch to collect Pokemon cards when I got back home. So that leads me to go to Walmart, Walgreens, Target. I'm just picking up whatever I see.
And he's picking up whatever he can.
Whatever I see. It gets to the point where I begin to accumulate a lot of Pokemon cards. And it gets to a point where every...
Now you see where this is going, guys. He's got the itch. Just like a lot of you guys, you FOMO in, and you gotta buy, and FOMO in because content creators are helping you, and some of them are helping you guys. They're helping you FOMO in that you gotta catch this stuff, you gotta have it. And now some of you guys, some of them may be misinforming you guys, and that's why you guys gotta follow certain content creators. I'm not saying follow me, don't listen to me, but like I said, if you follow enough of us, you can see that we're pushing you in the right direction. All right? And I'm not going to give you information on stuff that I'm not doing myself. I always tell you, I'm going to do exactly what I'm saying I'm going to do. And I got all the receipts for what I do. Go check PokeTuber, Jedi Hustler on Instagram. My photos for my receipts, on my story, on my journey. I want to say, outside of the success that this guy is not having, I have done phenomenal in this investing space. I have done awesome in buying and selling, collecting, that I do card shows, and guys, I can't complain. All because I set up a system for my investing and all of that. If you got no system in play, you're ultimately setting yourself up to fail. And a lot of you guys will do just that in this investing space. You will fail, I'm telling you, because you're going about it and all the wrong reasons. You're letting people dictate you what to buy and what you shouldn't buy, and you're making fatal mistakes with credit cards. You're going in debt, and you're thinking you're going to make $1 million overnight, and it's not going to happen, guys. I'm telling you, it's not going to make you're not going to make $1 million overnight. It's a lot of hard work that helped me to become successful in this hobby, and I'm not full-time with this like Alex. No way, shape, or form am I full-time with this. But ever since I came back in January, in February, after my dad passed away, guys, I made a good amount of money. Good amount of money. I sold and traded away a lot of my XY Sun and Moon booster packs, Hidden Fates. I have packs, but a lot of my loose packs all gone. I was able to get into slabs, and I'll show you some other stuff. And it's not to hype into what I'm doing. It's just to show you guys that if you have a system in play, it can set you up for success. And obviously, this guy didn't have systems in play, all right? And he wasn't watching the proper people. He was letting other people dictate you, the ones that are causing the drama against investors. Some of them may have some good insights, all right? Team Rocket Joey, not throwing you to the shade. There's some insights that I like. There's some ones that I don't agree with. And, you know, but there's some points that we make that are valid, that are backed by data. And if you guys are going into this and not understanding how to move through this market in a bull or a bear market, yeah, you could be making some really wrong decisions, guys. And with the decisions that I made, I've been able to make these decisions and stay debt-free since 2004.
Add 2, welcome in and afternoon, dude.
So, you know, there are some mistakes that you guys are doing, like I said, that you have to build this up to make it work for you. And there will be people, if you listen to them, they will help you get out of this hobby a lot quicker than you are in it. And it sounds like he's kind of new to the hobby too. He was new. He wasn't following channels that were giving the right information to him. And if you're following the right information, like Alex is, I'm not gonna shill Alex. He makes some really good decisions, and you'd have to apply them, all right, yourself to understand. He's not manipulating anything. We're not here. Investors are not here to manipulate. All right, we're here to make informed decisions. And the same aspects that somebody from Wall Street would want to make a wise choice onto where they would want to put their money. You know, just like a stockbroker is going to try to tell people where to put the proper funds in this stock. You know, and you got to have the same mindset. And likewise mindsets can make things happen, right? Like-minded folks. So try to hang around people that are like-minded like you versus other people that are just telling you that somebody is manipulating the market or saying something that is not true. I mean, we don't win by manipulating markets, all right? Manipulation happens. You see it with TCG Player, where they go in and try to buy a bunch of cards to try to cause the price of that card to go up. You seen that? That's manipulation. what Alex brings is you a historical data, right? It's data. And the market, he can't change the market. People set the market that buy into this stuff, all right? That the market is what the market is. It's not something that he made up and said, this number is where it is, this is where it is, guys. We can't forecast futures neither, so we're no fortune tellers. But it's like-minded people coming together, right? And I'm going to tell you one thing. Investors are not going nowhere. Your resellers, your scalpers, guys, they've been here long before YouTube. eBay was here before YouTube. They're not going anywhere. So as long as there's opportunity, all right, and your content creators pump that opportunity, guys, the scalpers, the resellers are not going anywhere. So you might as well stop listening to these people talking about the scalpers, because in one hand, another hand washes another hand. And when I say that, a distributor is a scalper. Got their cards from Pokemon. Now scalping it to the LGSs. And LGSs have to take on what? To make more money, right? The distributor says, well, if you want this stuff now, here's the pitch now. You hear it from Eli, Poke USA. Hey, I have X amount. You heard it from PokeNE, right? If you want to get Pokemon 151 Blooming Waters, well, we have all these battle decks. If you take some of these, you know, and you hear PokeNE, you hear Pokemon Eli talk about that they got to take some of the bad stuff in order to get some of this allocation to help wash the distributor's hand. But yet, what happens to some of those numbers? The numbers are yet crunched, but yet they're paying higher prices to get some of the good product. It's no longer that they get, oh, I'm going to put my number in for X amount of 1 million cases of Destiny Rivals. I'm going to get 100 cases of Destiny Rivals. It's not like that no more. Shorter allocations, smaller allocations, but then if you want some later on, you have to buy some of this other dog water in order to get it, right? That's what the push is. I hear it on YouTube. I'm just on standby, guys. I'm on standby, but I'm not dummy. I'm not a dummy. I listen to a bunch of different YouTubers. I make my own informed decision on what is going on in the market, and it helps me to make better judgment calls on where I'm going to displace my money. All right? But like I said, all these people pumping scalpers, resellers, the biggest scalper is your distributor that delivers the product to your LGS. And then your LGS themselves is a scalper themselves, right? Scalping it because they got to make money, recoup the money they paid for the product, going to sell it to a consumer. On that end, that consumer can take that product, becomes a scalper themselves, decides, you know what, I'm going to keep some for myself, going to sell some later on, I'm going to set some up at Collecticon, I'm going to set some up on eBay, I'm going to put some on my Shopify, and somebody else buys it, and they become a scalper. So you want to say scalpers? Every one of us is a scalper. You look at it that way, because one way, shape, or form, or another, one day we will sell, and we become a scalper because we're selling it higher than what we paid for it. You're not going to turn around and say, oh, I paid $19.99 for this, and I'm going to sell this for $19.99 again.
Now
no.
more than ever, and worry about their own actions and let others do what works for.
Now, 95% of the people that are in Pokemon right now, and the other 5% are you, us, the community. We have bigger people in here that are just after chasing the bucks, all right? Making it harder for us to get the product now. Making it harder for us to get the product. So everyone has to pay the price, all right? Everyone has to pay the price now, guys. Every one of us. Because Pokemon themselves is a scalper, all right? You want to look at it because they control it, and they say, you know what? It'd be stupid of a company. Before we get back into Slim Rick, just think about it. If you had a winning formula, right? Of course, Pokemon can print these cards to oblivion, but why would they? Or why should they? Right? Think about it. They can come out and give us whatever they want to say on national news. Hey, we're going to pump to capacity. That's a joke. pump to capacity. You're already doing that because you have a popular product, the #1 IP in the world. If you made enough product, then it'll be sitting on Walmart shelves. Do you think that if I had a popular product that I would want it just sitting on my shelves? I want to have it in the hands of consumers, right? But if I pump out as much as I can and say, you know what, we got all these printing facilities, we can print to mass capacity. But if we do that, guess what? Our numbers will crunch down, and some of our product, just like X and Y, might be sitting on the shelves because now we can't even, people will leave the hobby because we saturated it again. Pokemon's not stupid, guys. They realize the past. They know they got an insurgency of people that want product, and if they can just keep printing the way they're doing and print out a little more, you know, they'll put out a little bit here, a little bit there, and trickle it out, cause FOMO themselves. Really, the biggest FOMO builders are Pokemon Company themselves. They're the ones that allow other people to steal their sleeve packs, steal their arts and stuff out of the facility, because obviously if you had the right security systems in play, people wouldn't be going out and grabbing a bunch of cards and going into another card shop trying to sell a whole bunch of Umbreons and all that stuff, right? How would this stuff get out if you didn't have the right security in place? But, you know, the whole insight for Pokemon Company is what? Make money. Make money. Make money. It's a company, guys, going to make money. And if you had a winning product, and I want to throw something at you, Thai Beanie Babies. Let's go back a few years into the 90s with Beanie Babies. Take Pokemon cards out of the way for a minute. Beanie Babies, the craze. A lot of you guys can remember that. The lines at Hallmarks and all your flower shops, the Beanie Baby craze hit United States. Thai, the maker of these. Hold on a minute. Thai, the maker of these Beanie Babies. Yeah, your boy still got some. Still got some. Nice, awesome collectible.
I still have my 30 beanies myself.
These were my dearest moms. I gave this bear and the two others to my mom. This is what I brought back from Florida. I'm cherishing these with my life. Not because it's worth anything, it's probably worthless, but because it was a bear that brings back a time in my life when I was selling these. I was a dealer in Beanie Babies. Probably one of, I'm not going to say the largest because I did have a strong position on these, but the market collapsed. Right. But Thai Beanie Babies, guys, he had these things on a lockdown where the Bears were the biggest bringing of dollars, just like Charizard was. Charizard was the king of Pokemon, right? Not Arceus, it was Charizard, because everybody wanted the Charizard Holo First Edition, which is probably still one of the most chased after cards from First Edition, right? And base set 1 and 2. Everybody talks about the Charizard. Gary King Pokemon has the largest position, right, of PSA 10, right? So bears were the biggest chasers that people wanted. The Britannia, the Liberty, right? The Gloria, the Princess Diana, the dreaded Princess Diana. Dreaded if you got PVC tablets in there, not the PE, but the PVCs. You were in the money, guys. You're in the money. But Ty made a decision where lines were crazy at Hallmarks for Beanie Babies. McDonald's had Beanie Babies, the Beanie Baby counterparts, the babies. Lines at McDonald's for these Happy Meal Beanie Babies. The craze was on, right? Then Ty realized he had a winning formula, but he changed up the system. He took out the cocaine out of the Coca-Cola. Mind you, cocaine was in Coca-Cola years ago, right? Just saying. You had a winning formula. So the main ingredient was they were getting hard to find these bears and stuff, and everybody wanted them. So he decided to pump up production, guys, and mass produce them throughout the United States, but he said that he was going to do a retirement. And once he said that he was going to retire these Beanie Babies, it caused a stir in the market. All right? And that stir caused the ultimate collapse of Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies, since Ty announced that he was retiring them, everybody FOMO'd in, everybody was selling, and Beanie Babies, guys, to this day, have still not recovered. And now you can go in Walmarts, you can go in Walgreens, you see Beanie Babies, you'll see the Ty other collectibles. Nobody wants them, guys. Nobody wants them. So the ultimate collapse did happen. Kind of like when we have crashes in our card market, but they recover, right? But, you know, that's what happened to Beanie Babies. The collapse of a formula that was winning. So why would Pokemon want to continue to pump out more products when people right now, they have them in their hands, where they are just printing dollar bills right now? Just like Ty was making Beanie Babies before he disrupted the formula that caused the collapse. Pokemon is going to tell you whatever they want you to tell you. You're either going to believe it or not. There may be a time where we may find product back on the shelf, but ultimately they got us right here and right here. And I don't see that changing, guys, at all this year. All right? At all this year. I think we're going to continue into it until the 30th anniversary. And then we may see a residing of product, you know, of influx. But it's going crazy. But let's go back into Slick Rick, guys. I wanted to bring that Beanie Baby thing up because I think it's a very important part of our history. Very important of, you know, collapses of markets and things where they were going strong and then ultimately they went to hell. Let me get this back up and we'll get this video back on so I can get back with you guys.
Today I woke up, I got on Facebook Marketplace, I got on OfferUp, and I was looking for people selling Pokemon cards. Or I was trying to go to a local card store to just buy Pokemon cards. Now, there's a phenomenon that occurred inside of every card store that I went inside of every card shop. So I'll go into a card shop, maybe in my head, I'm looking to spend $50 when I go inside.
See, 50, right?
Every time I went inside of a card shop, I ended up spending probably 10x whatever I intended.
10x! So he wanted to spend 50, but he ended up spending 10x every time because he couldn't control himself.
And I'm picking this up and I'm getting all this shit. And it's like,
crazy.
Damn, you
See,
spent $400.
Right there.
Some Pokemon cards.
Right there is, like I said, guys, you cannot be going into a market like this. You got no self-control over your money or how much you're spending, and You cause your own failure. You cause it because you can't even control yourself. You're so happy about buying, get some cards. You got to get that. You got to get this. Got to get this one. And you're probably weren't watching nobody's content. You're just going in buying because you just wanted to have a card. That's why I said, buy what you want, collect what you like. All right? When I say buy what you want, is cards that you like, that's the ones you should be buying. You know? The ones you're going to enjoy. Not something that you just buying because you heard PokeRev said it was a good card, or he liked it, or Cool Trainer Ryan says these are going to the moon, right? I'm just saying I'm just not saying that these guys did that. I'm just trying to give you guys, shed some light on what's going on, where you guys got to make your own informed decisions and can't go in this collecting Pokemon cards blinded and not knowing and not having any self-control. Obviously, this guy was his own undoing, where he had no control over his mind, over his money, where he was just going into card shops, every card shop, he was spending. He said he was going to spend 50, but then he ends up spending more and more than that every time he goes into a card shop. And it's kind of like you don't even know what you're doing, bro. You're out of control. And you got to have some kind of self-discipline, and he had none.
Which is cool because I have the cards in my hand that's worth the 400. But like, here's where it gets nasty. So this happens over and over, or just over a period of time. Like over a period of time, I've indulged to the point where I've sunk so much bread into Pokemon cards and collectibles and shit that I'm like, what am I doing? You feel me? I had this app that would calculate the total value of my collection, and it was a nice little number. So I'm like, okay. They kind of pitched this whole Pokemon thing to you as an investment. They're like, oh,
they have a huge impact on your gut, and of course,
I hate these ads.
as well. It's the job of your liver to filter them out. I use dose for your liver. You've got an amazing liver support nutrient. My liver is one of the most important.
Oh, I hate ads, man.
Support.
Have you seen that ad? Control the pawns to the left and to the right. +2, -3, kind of a running forward.
you can get rich with Pokemon, or people are making millions of dollars with Pokemon cards. People are doing this. People are doing that. But what they don't tell you is, you gonna collect these cards trying to invest. You're gonna try to make a business out of this. But when you try to recoup some of that money, when you try to recoup some of that capital, you know what's going to happen? Someone's going to try to convince you that your stuff is worth less. And if this is like just a hobby for you, you're not going to be ready for the tigers and lions and bears out here that's trying to undercut everything. You heard that key term I use, bears, like from crypto, from investing. You got bulls and bears. You got people that's going to undercut you for your...
I want to stop right there. What he's talking about, guys, right there, is trying to sell your cards. And here's where I'm coming in. If you're getting this hobby, why are you here? Are you here as a collector? Are you here as a buy, sell, trade? What are you going to do with this? Are you just buying just to enjoy the cards, opening packs, and then you're just building a collection? Or down the road, are you going to go do card shows? Are you going to sell? Are you going to set up maybe an eBay? Because this is the things you need to think about now. When you get into this hobby, guys, as a Pokemon collector, right? You're opening packs, you're buying and ripping ships, you're getting duplicates of these cards. What are you going to do with those cards? Are you going to trade them in to a card shop to get 40% because you're going to get chewed up? Card shops in my area, guys, this is the percentages. 40% cash. They'll give you 40% of the market value, TCG player or price charting, because there's different areas on which these card shops use. Most use TCG player, right? But they're going to give you 40% cash if you want. So if your card is $100, then they're going to give you 60. right? Or 40, however the dividend is, it's 40%, right? So you're going to get 40% of a $100 card. So whatever that percentage breaks down to, that's what you're getting in cash. You're not going to get the full $100 for your card. All right? If you want to trade in because you say, oh, wow, he's got that PSA 9 I want in the showcase. Well, the dealer, the card shop owner, is going to sell you that card at 100% value. So this card could be $150, and you got a $100 card. You say, well, this card's worth $100. Can I pay you the $50? That don't work like that at a card shop. Not at any local card shop. They're not going to give you a $150 card and then you just give me $50. No, don't work like that, guys. You're going to get the card, right? You want this card? Okay, it's $150. The card shop says, okay, your beat up V. Oh, this is all bent and creased. This is lightly played. It's damaged, got whitening, so this is moderately played. This is only worth 50 cents. Now take away 40% of that is what we're going to give you in credit towards this card, and you got to pay the difference. So you're going to pay the difference on that after what they tell you what they're going to give you your card, your 40% difference. Now, if you trade in, then it's 50%. So now you got this $100 card, they're going to give you 50% of its value. So you got $50. That means you have to pay out the other $100 in cash for this. All right? Just so you know, that's how card shops work. It's a 40-50. Most card shops work on lower percentages. Now, what he's going to go on to do is where he got beat up, taking them to Collecticon, right? Where even in New Jersey, most card shows run on a percentages of 65 to 75% they would buy your cards at most card shows, specifically in my area, or they would give you 80% trade-in value. So you lose 20% of what the actual card is worth. So if you had a $100 card, you want to trade it towards something at a dealer's table, then your card, your $100 card, is worth 80 in trade, and you have to pay the other $20 out, or whatever the other extra money is based on how many cards you are buying, right? If you're buying more expensive cards, you would only get your $80 credit for the other cards that you were buying from the dealer at a card show, and an 80% trade-in. All right? Other than that, you're at the mercy of the 65 to 75% cash for your cards, or less. Because if you're trading in a lot of V's and stuff like that, most dealers don't want them. They're looking at full arts and stuff like that, where you're at a 65 to 75% cash value for your cards. Most dealers will work at shows with and paying you out. All right, but the trade is normally 80%. In some instances, like if you're trading an Umbreon or something in, you could get a higher percentage, up to 85, and at some times you can get 90 to 95%. All right, but those are within the margins that card shows, not card shops, card shows. They both work at different percentages. You're better off going to card shows with your items versus a card shop. Card shop, you're at the mercy at whatever the percentage is that he is paying out, and it's going to vary from card shop to card shop. Now, you can deal with selling your stuff on Facebook Marketplace, all right? And here's where it gets a little sketchy, where you can get involved with having to pay Uncle Sam taxes or no taxes. Depends on if Facebook is going to hit you with the K-1099 form or not. At the mercy, you are mostly at the mercy on eBay for getting a 1099 form, because most likely, 100% out of the time, you're selling on eBay, Amazon, all right, or any of those sites, probably Whatnots and stuff, you are probably going to get hit with the form. Facebook, maybe not. All right, so most people say, oh, you're going to get hit with forms, but most likely on Facebook, you may not. All right, I'm not telling you where to sell your stuff, all right, but there are chances that you can take for yourself and get a higher percentage selling your raw and single cards on a Facebook marketplace or, you know, a Craigslist or something like that, or having a yard sale, because you can post a Facebook marketplace yard sale up and have people come to your house and buy your goods, and you're not paying any taxes. So I'm not telling you how to operate your side hustle. You do whatever you got to do, and if you get hit with a form, just make sure that you should be saving certain percentages of what you take to pay Uncle Sam. All right? So there are percentages for sure, different avenues to navigate in this market. Card shows, you take your stuff to card shows, guys, you're not paying Uncle Sam any taxes. It's straight out cash. Most card shows don't even have you collect tax, but you may have to. It depends on your state, and it will vary from city to city, state to state, depending on your location. It will vary, all right? I can straight out tell you it will vary based on where you live, all right? And you could end up paying tax form, having to pay tax on it based on your area, all right? And it operates differently. So there's kind of a breakdown. eBay is 13%, but that on what it's sold. You have different fees. You have listing fees. You have seller fees and all kinds of stuff involved with eBay. Facebook, you got no charge for listing, no limit on how many cards you can list. You can keep listing. There's no percentages on each time you list a card. It's costing you a percentage on Facebook. It's all according on Facebook, your credentials. I'm a 5-star seller on Facebook. I mean, I built up seller clientele, you know, a ratio, just like eBay. So I have good high standard on Facebook seller. So I would tell you, you build your reputation up, and you're building up locally. You can build your own clientele, and you know, you have to have a goal in mind on how are you going to set yourself up for success when you get in this hobby. And what is your main reason for being in the hobby? Or is it going to turn out to be a business? Because sometimes you can get bigger than what you thought that you would ever be, right? And so you need to look at that. If you start getting bigger, you start doing card shows and stuff. I'm doing card shows. So now I'm building up clientele, whereby this guy didn't build up any clientele. I went from having a budget, buying from Walmarts and Targets, buying on Facebook, to buying on Facebook Marketplace all throughout my history of doing YouTube. I've been buying on Facebook too. Now, bringing to light that this is what you guys can do. There's different avenues on how you can approach things. And if you don't have a system in place, guys, it ultimately dooms you. All right? And only if you don't put a limit and or you have no self-control, you're out of control. Your spending habits go out of control. Your money goes down the drain because you have absolutely no idea what you're buying. You're collecting cards that you really don't want. You're not enjoying the hobby because you're just buying anything. You can't control yourself in a card shop. You're buying everything. You're going overseas into Japan. You're buying everything, right? And you're FOMOing in because you listen to other people that are causing hysteria, causing drama, telling you not to listen to that one, but listen to me, dude. I'm the one. These guys are telling you lies. These are feeding you lies. Data does not lie. Data does not lie. And you can't just show one part of your data for your dramatic video and don't show the other side of the story. All right? That's all I got to say on that end of that. But, yeah, dudes. This one prompted me to do a video because too much was going on and not everybody was understanding everything, and it wasn't being broken down. I'm breaking it down for you so you understand it a little bit better.
And that's in every business. That's everywhere you go. It could be stock market, it could be cryptocurrency, it could be GameStop. People are going to undercut you. But the problem with the Pokemon thing is they try to make you believe that this stuff is worth so much, but then when you get into a situation where you want to sell, you end up taking the hit. And I made that mistake. At Collecticon, and I ended up losing pretty big because I sold some very valuable cards, and I took a decent hit on them. Now I got some cash, but I took a pretty big hit, and then what ended up happening was like the cards that I had left, it was like instead of it being like 10 cards that's worth like like that to happen. And I didn't realize quite the grip that Pokemon had on my life at that time. So I realize it now, and I'm just out of it. Like, as a fan of Pokemon, I'm a fan of the video game.
I just want to stop there. Guys, when you go to card shops, collect con, you're not going to get beat up. It's you against the mercy of the card shop or the vendor. And you're going in knowing that these guys are not going to give you full value of your product. All right? Just know that. They're not. So if you want to be successful in this, okay, I would tell you guys, go vend. Go vend. Go vend. And you can make something of it. And I was able to do card shops and look at you know, stacks of PSA cards. I got banger cards. Banger cards. I'm enjoying the hobby. I'm just showing you bangers. Bangers because these are what I truly believe are going to hold me down. It's not those $5, $10 cards. It's the bangers that are going to hold me down. And these may go down in price. These may go down in price. Yes. The PSA cards, yeah, they may go down in price. But here's where I'm going to come in. That I don't think people explain it enough. That I understand that these cards are going to go down in price. And there's a chance for them to reach new highs too. But I'm willing to take the risk on that because I am satisfied with the way my investing portfolio. Because all of these, the slabs, your singles, and the sealed product play hand in hand. They're all part of one. And if you are enjoying the hobby because now I'm vending, I'm also selling on Facebook Marketplace, right? I'm going to card shops, I'm dealing with card shops, I'm buying from people's collections off of Facebook. I understand my place within this hobby. I'm going to take some L's here and there, but my L's are not going to outweigh my wins. All right? Understand it. My L's, my losses, are not going to affect me. All right? Or my sealed product, because I'm going to win the longer I'm in the hobby. Because the longer I hold my sealed, the longer the values go up, regardless of what the singles and the PSA cards go. All right? And you got to know where you want to play ball in here. What cards do you want to start picking up? Do you want to get bangers? Do you want to get slabs? Do you want to just collect sealed? Find your foot, right? Find the shoe that fits you in this hobby and stay in it. And in this hobby, guys, I've been one to stay in my lane. I don't talk trash about another YouTuber. All right? Me and Alex, I consider him a good friend. And, you know, EpicTube HT Harley, consider him a friend too. Now, even though we may chop it up here and there, we all have our views, good or bad. I can accept whatever one says against the other, or what one says against this one, or whatever advice they say, and I can run with whatever advice they give me. And I'm okay with taking the advice. If I want to apply it because it sounds like it makes sense, then I apply it. If I don't, you know what? I know my foot in the hobby. I know where I stand. And I'm content with my decisions and what I make. I'm not exiting the hobby. I took many losses in my life. I took many risks in my life. And yeah, the other ones failed. But I haven't failed at Pokemon. Now, even though the cards are going to go up and down, I'm okay with that. But in this hobby, you know there's one king, and that's sealed. And data, you look at the sealed, More people ripping this like crazy. The sealed wins. The sealed wins, hand over hand. And I'm happy with my sealed collection. My invested time in sealed in the 11 going on, it's 12 years now in this hobby. I'm happy with the number I see, and I've been in the hobby a long time. I was able to adjust my portfolios, and sometimes, guys, here's the thing: like a lot of people don't talk about is sometimes you can see some sets, some sealed in your collection, just as you see these raw cards. Like, I don't want this card anymore. I want to get rid of it. You can see some of your sealed and say, I got into some of this sealed, but I think I can, based on the analogy on what's going on in the hobby and the way Pokemon's printing and some of the noise I hear, you can kind of make sense and make some fundamental decisions in this hobby based on what's going on and say, what? This set, it's still not performing. There are other sets that are outperforming right now that I can get into, and I'm not a fortune teller. I can't forecast the future, so I don't know how long, if I made a bad call or not, right? Say I sell Vivid Voltage ETBs, and I'm moving them into Destiny Rivals. I'm funneling the money out of Vivid Voltage and into Destiny Rivals, or into Stellar Crown, or into Surging Sparks, right? Or into Paldea Evolved. Despite that, I see the market is going up on those, but Vivid Voltage is still staying down here. Could Vivid Voltage outperform those? Certainly. It's been out of print more longer, but it hasn't been performing all that great now. So I kind of make sense on those things. I said, what? I don't have to put any new money in. I can eliminate a dead set in my eyes and make maybe a call on a better play right now. And I can use, not new money, I can use old money, because I can use my slabs, my singles that I got, and my slabs, and my other raw that are non-bangers to navigate in this market to get whatever I want. So I don't have to FOMO in, right? I built a staple of solid cards, bangers. The receipts, Poke Tuber, Jedi Hustler. My receipts, documented, video reels are out. You can see what I'm doing. If you guys want to follow suit in that aspect, where I traded sealed out for slabs and sealed, I left it for the journey. I left it so you guys can see what I've been doing. I have stores that can vouch for me that did the trades. I got people that can vouch because they're on the reel. They have Instagrams. My story for me, my success, is another open book. All right, another open book, because I'm on a different level than a lot of these other guys that you newbies that come in and you don't know what the hell you're doing. You're getting into losing your wallets, losing your shirts. You're going bankrupt. You're not going to be in this hobby that long. I've been in here. So I am, a more experienced person in the form of selling, buying, trading, because I did it before. All right? Unlike some people that never sold, never bought, they don't know where to buy, I've been making connections, networking out. Why I'm not even on YouTube? I've been networking out with people on Facebook, Marketplace, to build connections without having distribution at my side. Without having a distributor, I can call them and say, hey, I need 20 cases of Destiny Rivals ETBs. I want to buy some boosted bundles. I want to put my allocation numbers in, how many I want for this. Let me know what you can do for me, Mr. Distributor. No. I've been buying on the open market from the same people, making established relationships without working with distro. I'm no longer getting products from Walmart, Target, guys. I'm buying on the secondary market.
and I'm paying a premium for stuff that I believe in. 151, Crown Zenith. Some Surging Sparks, Paldea Evolved, right? What else? What else am I doing? 151, Crown Zenith, Paldean Fates, some Surging Sparks for sure, Blooming Waters boxes, Sea and Sky boxes, Legendary Warriors boxes because it has all Sword and Shield packs in there. The Mighty Warrior box, whatever that is, that one that came at Sam's, I'm looking for those. I'm buying those. I'm paying a premium, not paying market. I'm paying a premium, and I'm looking at the market based on people that are selling, because there's a lot of people selling on Facebook Marketplace now that I'm able to buy Blooming Waters for $90 where I was buying them at 100 to 105. And then there was times when I was buying, I'm still buying 151 booster bundles at 50. But Prismatic, I kind of like, don't have any Prismatic booster bundles, but I have ETBs. But Prismatic is another story. I'm waiting on a price where I'm going to be comfortable at buying in on the open market. Not chasing down Walmart, Target, buying at MSRP. All right? I'm not going into Walmarts and Targets trying to get on lines with people to get 2 items, or I'm not trying to get a limit of things. If I'm in an area, I'm at a Barnes & Nobles, I'll get a pack. I'll go in and see what they got. They got a pack, I'll grab a pack, whether it's one piece or if it's, just Destin's Rivals from Target or Barnes & Nobles, they limit you one. Whatever, I'll get one because I was in the area. So let me see what they got. I'll get my one while I'm here. But it's not something that I'm going to continually do. So I've been sourcing out on Facebook Marketplace, paying a premium. And then again, you say, well, you're crazy, Pokemart TCG. Why are you paying a premium? Well, because I'm not looking to sell them right now. And this is where you guys, you guys that are flippers, right? Well, I'm saying flippers, but you guys resellers, all right? I'm going to use the proper terminology. You guys that are reselling, 95% of you guys are in the market. That's what you're doing. You're going to all these Walmart Targets. You're not a collector. You're not an investor like myself. You haven't been in a hobby as long as I have. You don't have the experience that I have. So you're just in it, and you're using credit cards where I'm using debt-free. I'm paying cash for everything I buy. Everything is cash. Cash App or PayPal. I don't use Venmo or Zelle. And I'm debt-free. So I'm not looking to sell that stuff right now. I'm just going to set it and forget it. It's going to go in my storage unit. I'm not going to worry about it. This is a total different level on some of you guys that are just buying and selling. Totally different level than Slim Rick is. Because, you got to know what you're in the hobby for and what are you doing. And then you got to have a plan on how you're doing it. And if you have no plan, no idea, no direction, then totally you're going to be in here, you're going to be gone. All right? And that's all I say is you guys got to make an informed decision. Follow people that you believe in. People like-minded. I follow people that are like-minded like myself. I don't want to hear the dramatic channel, even though I know about the Joey, the Here Come Team Rocket Joey or whatever his name is. I have nothing against the guy. I just watch his videos. He brings some decisions, right? And some good, some bad. All right? Whether he doesn't like nostalgic nomics, Alex, who's I consider my friend. I have nothing against Alex. But there are people that are going to pit other people against each other, and that's the way the hobby is going. They want the clicks, they want the views, and that's where they're going to go. I'm going to tell you straight out, point blank, transparent, how it is, what I do, and how I do it. And that's, you can believe in it or don't. But I've been in there a long time. I've seen majority of success in my life with Pokemon that now, just by what you see, and I mean, it's not the flex, but I got tons of it. Tons of banger stuff. Tons of banger stuff. It's all laid out. The story for me on all my banger stuff is history for me. And yeah, it's single cards, but you got to know what you're doing. Put up a winning system, guys. And all the dramatic stuff, sometimes what I did, guys, is sometimes the best thing you can do is block out the noise. As an investor, block out the noise. block out the noise, man. Just move on with what you know that is already working for you, and you continue to do it. And just like Rudy from Alpha Investment says, stay on the course. I have stayed on this course all these 11 years, and into the 12th year now, I'm still on course. And it's only getting better and better and better. Only getting better and better for me. Because I'm making more informed decisions, regardless to all the people talking dramatically, that, yeah, they can be in the same space, collecting and investing is doing the same thing, and then still knock on you. I'll let them knock, but I'm not going to knock against them. I'll let them talk. Let them talk, but it's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing, right? All right, guys, so that's what I said. You just block out the noise, stay on your path. Find a place in the hobby that works for you, and stay in your lane. And I told Nostalgic, and Nostalgicnomics can tell you right from the horse's mouth. I told Nostalgicnomics, I said, dude, we need to be a lighthouse on the open water for these people, man, to keep them from trudging against the rocks. Because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to try to knock you against these rocks. All right? I'm trying to be a lighthouse here, guys. I'm not trying to disrupt anybody. I'm trying to keep you on the course, keep your mindset clear, keep your thought process clear, try to give you avenues that I'm taking, and you don't have to take them. You don't have to take them. But I'm just trying to help people out, because as I'm navigating and I'm winning, you can win too. All right? And that's all. I mean, you got to block out the noise. You got to make your own, you make decisions, but you know what? Go in this hobby in the right movement, so you don't get hurt, so you don't end up like this guy. I don't want to see you guys like that guy. And I got people like Bennett Productions and Pat That's Power Channel. I see these guys, they want to better themselves. They want to make, you know, they're trying to do the best they can. You don't end up like him. That the hobby that you love, it end up self-destructing you, where you move away from it altogether because of your decisions. It's your decisions that ultimately collapse yourself, right? Because no one else can make you do that unless you listen to them, right? And I'm not saying listen to me. Listen to a bunch of people and make your own decision based on the knowledge that you gained. It's knowledge. Knowledge in this hobby is king. All right? Knowledge in this hobby is king. So key in on the people that are in this investing space, because we're limited to the people in this hobby that are investors. But listen out, hear them out, and then do some research. And if what they talk about makes sense and you see it working in your favor, then stay on course. You're going to soon see that you're walking on the right path. Yeah, the risk is high, but those that are willing to take the risk are going to be the ones that reap the rewards. And I can tell you, guys, the 11 years I've been in this hobby, the rewards are great. I made money. And a lot of people knock against people making money on this hobby, but they do it. Your card shop's going to make money. Your LGS is going to make money. Collecticons, they're going to make money. Card shows, people vending, you're going to make money. People selling on eBay, you're going to make money. Your resellers, Amazon sellers, they're going to make money. You're not going to stop that. No one's going to stop that on YouTube unless you listen to them. And they force you to stop because you started listening to them. Guys, make your own informed judgment, informed decisions before you pass judgment on someone else. Hear them out and say, you know what? This guy makes sense. And if you're in it long enough, you're going to see that everything that people talk about makes sense. And with sealed product, here's the thing. when you look at this stuff 5 years from now, you bought Surging Sparks now, and you look at Surging Sparks, say I bought it at 300, I'm going to tell you what, every one of you guys are right. All right? Don't buy high, don't buy low, or buy high, sell low, whatever, right? If you bought in high, you win. If you bought low, you win. If you cost average dollar for dollar, you win. You win, guys. No matter if you bought steel product high, you win. If you bought it low, good for you. You bought it lower than everybody else, you win. Guys, if you're in it from when you bought that product 5 years from now, you're going to be saying, I'm glad that I got that box at what I did. Even if I paid $300, that box is now $500 or whatever, right? 5 years from now, it's going to be a different talk because you're going to say, I'm so glad I bought it. Here's what I did. I did a trade with Ray for my sports cards boxes where I got a Roaring Skies box. I think I paid $400 to $500 for that box in trade. Go check out what Roaring Sky. I think Roaring Sky is like $1,700, guys. I'm $1,200 ahead, and you're talking about maybe a few years ago. 3 years ago, when I got with Ray for that box, just when COVID. So whenever COVID, right before COVID or just after COVID, 2021, only about 3 years, 4 years ago, a $400 box is now cresting $1,500, $1,700. Roaring Skies. Look where it's at. Same thing goes for if you bought a box now and you paid $300. If you got the mindset to just put it away, you win. Don't knock against it. Oh, I bought it high. So what? Who cares? It's not going to make any It's not going to make any difference later on down the road. When you look at it 5 years, 10 years from now, you say, "Whoop! So glad I bought that box. It's now $5,000, or it's $2,000, or it's $2,500." Who cares? You win. It doesn't matter if you bought high, bought low. That only matters if you want to cost average dollar for dollar and you want to buy some high, then you want to buy some low. Then it makes sense, right? Because you're trying to dollar for dollar to get the most bottom number out of it. But if you're not ripping it, it doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter when you bought it. It doesn't matter if you bought it when it first came out or if you waited to the very last moment when it did crest $600 or something like that and then you bought into it. I bought Evolving Skies booster box from Jerry when it was $1,300. Go look at Evolving Skies booster box now. And I did a trade. It wasn't cash. I traded for it. I still won. I still won. And the longer I hold it, I win. Every time, year after year. If the box continues to go up, I win. If the box stays where it's at, I win. It's crazy how some of these people put stuff together on YouTube only for bait clicks and clicks for views. And the investors are the evil ones. Let's go on with his video, man, because we've been on it long enough.
Don't be fooled by the riots in LA or the tension between Elon and our president. It's just a distraction.
And I always enjoy the video game. Spend $60 one time. You can enjoy that game for as long as you want, as many times as you want. With these cards, it's like you get the chase card today, and next month they're going to release another chase card for you to sink your money into that set, trying to chase that card. So let's take Surging Sparks, for example. That Pikachu, that's $500. I opened a couple booster boxes from Surging Sparks. Each booster box.
Surging Sparks. There it is, the big boy.
I never got the Pikachu. So it's actually gambling, right? Let's take Prismatic Evolution. I think I opened about 12 Prismatic ETBs, and each ETB was about $100. And the first few ETBs I bought, they were like $130 or $140 when the set was really high. And I wanted an Umbreon. I wanted an Espeon. I ended up buying just all the singles. I ended that for like close to what it was worth. So I didn't lose money on those cards. But like with the prismatic ETBs that I opened, I did not pull close to what I had spent on those ETBs. And that happening over and over again over a course of time or over the course of your entire life, it's just too detrimental. So like what transpired for me, and look, this is a
I want to stop it again. Like I said, I got to break this stuff down to you guys. You hear this guy? I wanted the Umbreon. I wanted to pull a God Pack. I wanted to get the chase card. I'm opening. New product. Every time they come out with a new product, there's a new chase card. The thing is, guys, whew, a lot of you guys still have not learned. Obviously, he has not learned. Open packs for fun, guys. If you're opening, you bought a few packs, you want to rip to have fun, rip to have fun. Don't pull them. Don't open the packs thinking you're going to pull your chase card. There's a chance you could, but here going in with the intention that you're going to pull a card, you're only fooling yourself. The odds are stacked against you that you're not going to pull the card you want. And the bigger the set, the harder it is to get that card. I realize that. If I open any packs on my channel, my Pokemon TCG guys, it's not with the intentions to go on a hunt for that card. If I pull it, I pull it. If I don't, it's just for the satisfaction of opening packs. But I know it's stacked against me. So, I'd rather buy the cards I like, I enjoy, that I love. Not based on because it's the biggest chase in the box, that I'm going to open a booster box. If you think opening a booster box, guys, you're going to get your value back, hand over hand, time after time, every one of those videos, even Earl's Pokestop, we're going to see if he does those videos where, see if you can get your value back out of a booster box, whatever. He opens up and see if you can get your value back. He tallies it all up. 95% of the time to 98% of the time, you lose on every booster box. You're not going to pull value of what you pay for that box. It's a far cry. You're going to fall short. You're going to be bankrupt before you know it. You're not going to pull the same. You're not going to pull value of your cards of the box from your booster box. You got limited amount of hits that Pokemon is stacking in there. It's already, you can say, batched, all right, in a way, where there's a set amount of hits in a booster box. Those set amount of 7 to 10, maybe possibly you have 13 hits in a booster box total, depending on what box you're opening, where you're going to get the value that's going to exceed the price of what you pay for that box. 95% of the time, you're going to fail. Every time, you're not going to pull the same value. You're going to always be under that value you paid. So you're on a losing streak with that. Every video that somebody tries to pull with that, guys, they normally lose. You have to pull the big chaser. Don't go on the pre-assumption that if you buy this booster box, you're going to pull the banger, because you most likely are not going to pull the card you're chasing. So, buy the cards. History has proven itself with pull rate data by Danny Phantom that in 6 months' time, you don't buy cards when they first come out for new releases, right? You don't. A lot of people still buying them because they want those cards. And over the 6 month time, the cards kind of stabilize. And they have all-time lows where you can pick up a lot of these cards for a fraction of what the booster box would cost you. If you haven't learned that by now, I don't know where you guys been. So never try to pull value for value from your booster box or ETB or booster bundle or whatever you're opening. You're always going to be on the losing end of the fence with that. Don't buy a product with the assumption that you think that you're going to buy enough of them that you're going to pull your chase. Still, the odds are stacked against you that you're going to pull duplicates of duplicates, and most likely you're still going to lose money. All right? Buy the cards you like. Buy the cards that you like. Buy what you enjoy. Buy the cards you want, because not every card you want, but people going in with this pre-assumption that they got to pull this card, you're going to lose. All right? That's what I got to say, man. It's crazy how some of you guys think going into this hobby, buying into stuff, you're going to get hurt.
For me, for the last 6 months, I can't have that repeated throughout the course of my life. So when it comes to collecting Pokemon cards, I'm just out of it, bro, because it's like, you try to enjoy the hobby, but then like this whole market and monetary aspect to it kind of takes away the entire enjoyment of collecting Pokemon cards. Even if you do have some disposable income that you want to play with or that you want to like buy Pokemon cards, don't, because you're going to lose that money just opening any of this stuff. Bro.
All right. Well, wait a minute. If it's disposable income, don't. Dude, come on. You're in the hobby. You got disposable income. This is money that you normally go drink a beer or whatever, and you decide, well, I don't drink anymore. I want to collect. I want to collect Pokemon cards. I want to enjoy the hobby. Nothing's wrong with that, guys. That's your disposable income. That's money set aside from your bills. As long as that's set aside from your bills, then you can enjoy the hobby. But don't go and say that you got to buy these cards, and just because you don't pull the cards that you're looking for, that you got to get out of the hobby, that you shouldn't be putting your disposable income. That's not how you should be going at this. Disposable income is for you to use the money because it's the extra money after all your bills are paid. It's the money that you go to the movies or you buy your Pokemon cards with.
And then when you do pull that card that you want, everyone's going to make it their business like, oh, it's a white corner in the side. That's not your fault.
We're going to talk about that too.
So let's say that you do pull the chase card that's worth $500. You pull the chase card that's worth $1,000, right? If this card is not a perfect 10, it's literally like not even worth what they're saying it's worth.
If you've been waiting for Trump's return,
All right,
you'll want to get
so,
your hands on this. We're running an important
well, since this commercial is here, we'll stop it right there. Guys, I want to go to this. I want to go on and say this. Guys, people are going to try to beat you up on your cards. All right? It doesn't matter if you're at the card shop or at a card show, at a collector con, or selling in person. You're going to realize who you are dealing with when you sell cards to. If it's not a regular average Joe person that wants a Garantina, the person just wants a Garantina. They're not going to care about the centering. They're not going to care about the white dot, the little dot, or a little bit of whitening. They're not going to care. The people that are going to try to nitpick you that this Garantina is not worth its $550 are going to be the ones that are going to try to grade the hell out of it to get that PSA 10. Those are going to be your really redonkulous collector-con vendor that's trying to grade itself that wants a PSA 10, and since yours is not centered, it's not worth that much. Oh, I'm not going to pay you that much because it's not centered. It doesn't have great centering. The market on the card, regardless to its centering, doesn't matter. The card is still worth $550 regardless to the centering. If you want to go above market and say, hey, well, yes, there is a premium. There's a premium one can charge if someone has a card and the centering is dead nuts on the front, and then on the back, then it's perfect centering too. Yeah, there's a premium that someone can pay because generally, if you hit someone's that definitely you're going to try to grade it, a guy that's going to grade this card, yeah, they may pay a little more for it. But typically, ones that are going to try to grade will also try to knock down your price and say, hey, dude, this ain't worth all that. It's got a little nick. I had people that I dealt with on Facebook that I met at a quick check. Hey, this card got a little white dot, just a little one right there. The only thing wrong with the card, still, $550, take it or leave it, dude. Oh, you can't do just a little better. Yeah, there's some guys that try to knock you down, will try to knock you down. Even if the card doesn't get a 9, a 10, guys, a 9 is still worth the raw value, right? So you didn't lose any money on the card if you bought a 9, right? You got it at raw value, but it's in a slab. So technically, you still should be able to charge $15 or $20 above market for that 9 because it's in a slab versus raw. There should be a premium because it's in a 9 slab. The raw should just be the raw value, but if it's in a slab, you should be able to charge $15 more because it's in a slab. That's my eyes. They don't want to buy it, don't sell it. If you'll get some picky buyers, yes, guys, you will get some really picky buyers. If you're selling on Facebook Marketplace or at a show, selling to a vendor, there are very picky vendors. They're very picky about what cards they take in, very picky about having clean cards. They want super clean cards, no whitening, very minimal dots on the back, very minimal print lines. Yes, there will be some vendors that will be very picky on cards that buy, or they will only buy certain high-end cards, and they don't want no low ends. Yeah, there will be some people that will picky, but when you go person to person, you're selling the card, all right? And if it's near mint, it has a couple of imperfections, a white dot here and a little surface mark, it's still worth the money. It's still going to be, a near mint to mint card. It doesn't lose any value. It's only because that person is looking to try to get that 9, and they're going to try to screw you down. And it's up to you to stand firm on your prices, guys. You don't have to sell to anybody. But it only comes into play that if you need the cash, then yeah, you're going to be at the mercy of the helm if you're trying to just get the cash. If you're going to stand firm on your offers on what you're selling it for and whatever, yeah, look for the buyer will come. You'll have the buyer come along. Yeah, the price may dip on the card a little bit, but then these cards ultimately reach new highs. They don't go to a new low, right? Ultimately, they go to a new high. But, looking at history data on how the pull rates are, then if you have a very hard card to pull, somebody has to open 1,000 packs to get it, you do the math on, hey, even to get this card, you got to open up 1,000 packs to get the Garantina, right? To get the Garantina Chase, you got to open 1,000 packs. If you do history on what it is to pull it, you got a nice clean card, guys. Hey, the centering may not be the best. Got one little smidgen of a dot there. No one's really going to care unless the person trying to grade it. And you will get people that are trying to grade PSA. And those are going to be the ones, and you'll know exactly when you are selling a card face-to-face with someone if they're that person that's going to grade it. They'll be very minute about the imperfections. They're looking for imperfections on the card to chew down the price on any way they can. And you'll be at their mercy on whether you want to sell it. You don't have to sell to that person. But if you need the cash right away, yeah. Then obviously, like this guy, he had to sell. He went to Collecticon. He lost his shirt on some of the cards. Yeah, you're going to lose some money on cards. But if you're ultimately looking at it just from the cash aspect, yeah, you will lose some money. That's what all raw cards, you're going to lose money. Obviously, he didn't know the market that he was in. You're going to lose money on raw cards. You will lose money.
I have the Umbreon Chase card from Prismatic, which I had. And I actually purchased it from eBay with the authenticity guarantee, right? I had the Umbreon, right? Went to go sell the Umbreon. Someone's complaining to me about a white dot on the card deck. Probably $1,500. It was ungraded. I'm like, damn. Like, you buy this stuff, and then everyone making their business to try to knock you down. So buy something for $300, you know it's 300, I know it's 300, but everyone's gonna make it their business to convince you that that card is 250, and this happens over and over a course of time, and then it's like you don't really want to be sinking your money into Pokemon cards. So like me as a grown man, like feel me, I gotta realize I got other responsibilities, and I can't be like losing money because I was collecting Pokemon cards like a maniac.
Like you just heard, dude. Just put another fatality right there. He said he was collecting Pokemon cards like a maniac. No budget, buying just whatever, buying to pull the banger, paying crazy high prices on stuff that he should have been paying, right? So there are some red tape there, guys, for you guys, right? This isn't just your ordinary person in here investing like us. Like investors, we know what we want. We have price points in place on where we're going to be buying. And we're not going over those numbers, right? So here's a person out of control, had no check marks in place, no budget on where he's stopping at. Like if I spend this is where I'm at, I'm done. He was just buying everything. And then when he goes to sell his cards, has no idea that people were going to screw him on his cards or take down prices. So he went into this thinking that the card, yeah, $1,500. Now people are going to convince me that it's worth nothing. Card is still worth $1,500. People looking to get a break on the card. So, hey, the $1,500 card, sell it for $1,400. You give them a $100 break on it, take it or leave it. They're either going to take the card or not. You got to know how to work things, and obviously this guy, red tape's up there, just said it for himself. I was collecting cards like a maniac. That means other things in his life. He had other things going on in his life, right? Over Pokemon that he was probably spending the money on, and then he got into some red tape with Pokemon cards because he was out there buying like a maniac, got himself in some financial difficulty that caused him now to leave the hobby because he needed that money. Just red flags all over the place with this. That other people are just showing you the red tape, just showing you the video and not going over the breakdown, and that's why I'm bringing it to you guys.
It's just not for me. You know what I'm saying? That level of consumerism, that level of never being satisfied, that level of there's always something else, always a new promo card, always a new chase card, always a new set in Japanese. And let's talk about Japanese, and let's talk about how much money you're going to actually lose. Collecting Japanese Pokemon cards is insane, because with the Japanese cards, the sealed boxes of Japanese cards.
Now, hold on a minute. Now, wait a minute. See, another red flag. Now, this guy just told you in the early part of his video that he went to Japan, and even though cards were cheaper over in Japan, he bought a stack like this. Now he's telling you the cards are worth less. But dude, you made some big mistakes in here, and the red flags are being shown, and I'm breaking it down to you guys. I just wanted to throw that out to you. But other than that, he said he was also collecting video games, so some other stuff that he got his hands in a lot of stuff, but obviously don't have the money to stay with these things. He got to let some stuff go now because he's overindulged in the hobby with taking on more than he can handle.
The English boxes worth both the actual singles, the actual Japanese cards themselves is not worth a damn. So the same card in English is worth like 5 times what the Japanese one is. Like Roaring Moon from Prismatic Evolution, I believe it's like a $200 card. Out of Terrestrial Festival, it's like a $20 card. So some of these Japanese cards are worth a tenth of what the English counterpart is worth, but the box is still worth half of what the English box is worth, or sometimes the same as what the English box is worth. Because White Bolt and Black Flare, the new set of Pokemon cards that just dropped, those boxes are going for $150 right now. When Battle Partners was out, I think the first night it was like $145 they were trying to sell the boxes for, then the price dropped all the way
cards, because you don't have one of these. I mean, if you're driving for hours every single day, you might as well get something that makes you see.
I hate commercials, guys.
This is where you're back.
What I'm trying to say is that there's just better stuff that you could be doing with your money. Let's take that Pikachu Chase card. And I had that card twice. Surgeon Spark. This Nintendo 3DS, can we focus on that? This Nintendo 3DS LL Japanese is worth the same amount as that Chase card from Surgeon Spark. But that Chase card from Surgeon Spark is merely a collectible. You can't enjoy the gaming experience on there. You can't do nothing with that. You can't do anything with that. Like,
all right, then you know that your collectible card, and you're comparing it to a video game. Obviously, there are two different comparisons. It's a trading card. You're playing on a video game. If you're collecting everything, you're collecting the card that you love, the Pikachu. Collecting it because you like the Pikachu. The video game, you're collecting. It's not a collectible. You bought the video game so you can play it. Regardless to it has value, you bought it so you can play the game. Two different things. You can't compare the two based on prices. You're in two different hobbies there. You can't compare the two. You're in video game, you collect video games. All right. Collect cards. Two different collectability, regardless, one has the same price. Two different identities.
Right? This is an inanimate object, but it do power on, it do play games. I could play Pokemon Blue, Red, Blue, Yellow, Red, Crystal Green, Leaf Green, Fire Red, Ruby, Sapphire, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Look, Donkey Kong. I could have a whole experience with this Nintendo 3DS versus a card that does nothing for me, but you try to convince me this card's worth $200-$300. And I fell for it. And I lost out because.
So why'd you get into hobby then? Why'd you start collecting the cards? You're not going to enjoy the cards for what they are.
At least. And I'm not even calculating all the money I lost from ripping packs. You go watch videos on my channel, all the money I lost from ripping packs is just not, it's not good, bro. It's not good.
But you're going to lose money when you open packs.
Crazy how that sounds.
Why'd you buy the pack? Don't buy them.
It becomes something very dark and ugly. So,
You buy a brand new car, it's going to depreciate in value. You buy a Pokemon booster pack, you keep it sealed, it goes up in value. If you open it, guess what? You're never going to pull the value of the pack out of the car unless you pull something, unless you do pull a banger out of it or something. This guy, you made a lot of mistakes, my dude. I'm just breaking it down.
Yeah, like anything in life could become an addiction. You gotta be vigilant out here. You gotta watch out, cause like I love Pokemon, as you can see, but like in that instance, I allowed like my greed and just insatiability to take control. I was just opening packs like I didn't want to.
My greed. Listen, red flags.
A little 420 habit.
Red flags, guys.
I quit my 420 habit. I did start going crazy on the Pokemon cards.
He went crazy.
I feel like that's kind of like what kept my brain just kind of. But like when I don't have a distraction, I find a distraction, and I make that distraction like everything. And I feel like because of that, I might have like an obsessive personality when it comes to shit. So, but y'all can learn from my mistakes. The way I'm approaching Pokemon now is I don't collect the singles, I don't collect the cards, but like the sealed product, I feel is a very sound investment, and I feel like it's hard to lose your money on sealed stuff. And I got this stuff not only because it looks good, but just because I know like if I just hold it down, it's gonna be worth something. But like I'm not banking on that. It's just some extra stuff. You feel me? So that's just what I wanted to come here and share with you guys.
All right. That's about it. The video's coming to an end, guys. I want to close it on a note because he did bring up a very important part. Like he says he collects sealed, and he says he does believe that is going to hold, that's going to like appreciate. And out of all of that, he's not doing any sealed and singles. He's not doing any raw cards or graded cards. He's not doing any of that. But there are some mistakes, guys. Some red flags, certainly, this guy did do, right? And I tried to break it down as best I could to make sure that, you know, you guys get the whole effects of the video, not because of what Team Rocket Joey and Opossum Bud blew the video, but you get the perspective on this video, guys. The breakdown. There's obviously mistakes that this guy did. There's a lot of stuff that he was doing. He was doing video games. He was doing that and doing that. He was buying heavy, buying crazy. You heard him say what he was doing. It's not something I made up. He said this is what he was doing. I was buying crazy. And then he said maybe I have an obsessive attitude or mindset made up. So this played part on his whole breakdown on how he had to exit the hobby because it ultimately destroyed him because he got in going too crazy with the hobby. And this is certainly anything that any one of you guys can do. You guys can get in here and charge up all them credit cards, get into astronomical debt, and then, you know, yeah, I got to exit the hobby because now you can't enjoy it because you were just buying like a savage, buying anything and anything you get your hands on, going to Walmart to Target, buying all of these sealed common cards and uncommon cards, sleeve packs, ripping them, hoping that you're going to get the VMAX Charizard out of there. And all you got was a bunch of commons at the end of the day, and you wasted thousands of dollars. That's exactly why investors come in. We tell you sealed product is the way. And it's been proven that it goes up in value. And over time, it does go up. All right? It does not go down. It goes up. And the longer you hold it, guys, this stuff does appreciate. The more you open, the more cards are available, the more these chase cards are going to drop, right? They're going to drop and become more of a floor price to someone who now can get it versus someone who got it at 500. See? So they do, the single cards do appreciate to a point where this Pikachu was a $400 or $500 card, right? I'm selling it at $290 right now. Yeah, where it was up there. You know, same thing with the Garantina, where it was up there, now it's at $500 and something. It's not $600. All right? So understanding that, you know, that you can lose money in raw. You can lose money in graded cards. The more you open these packs, you know, the more you open booster boxes, you're not going to pull that value unless you hit a big card. And the more the set has, the more cards that are in the set, the harder it is for you to hit that chase card or the one that is the big one that you're looking for to get that price back from what you opened. Never open packs to pull value. Just pull using your disposable income, guys. Use your disposable income that you set aside every week, every month, however you buy Pokemon cards or video games or whatever you collect, Beanie Babies if that's what you're collecting. Every week, every month when you go out to buy these things, make sure you use disposable income. And don't FOMO in to what people are hearing about the next set. Everybody wants the next best thing. Oh, I'm going to leave Destiny Rivals alone. I'm going to wait for a black and white. You know, I want the mega set. You know, everybody forgets one thing and they off to the new, off to the races again. And you start losing focus on stuff and you really can't enjoy the hobby because you're always looking at the next best thing or always trying to get the next best thing. So, you know, these are some red flags, man, that can set you apart and make you lose interest in a hobby that you were enjoying, and then all of a sudden now you can't because of the things you got yourself into. And I wanted to bring to light that video because it shattered me to come on here after seeing that video, and I seen everybody else blowing the video up and like, oh, dude, just lost all this money, blah blah blah, but no one's really like breaking it down to what actually happened. Why did this happen to this guy? How did it happen to this guy? Obviously, if you're going like a mad scientist into this hobby, buying everything and just buying, you're going to set yourself up for self-destruction, right? Be key onto who you listen to, whose voice you actually apply to what you do in this hobby. Don't listen to your regular John Does. Everybody brings some validation. Just make sure you're getting the correct information. All right. With that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really did. I hope that you take everything I said in consideration, that I opened your eyes on to some reality here, guys, what can happen to you. All right? And I hopefully I was able to justify that video a little bit, bring some clarification to it, because it's really important in this hobby, man, where just, you know, this hobby is a mess right now, where it's not ruined, but it's just being controlled by just people that's just looking to sell and make money off of stuff. It's just kind of crazy how I'm able to still enjoy the hobby, but you know, I can't get from my typical sources of the Walmart, Target anymore, because it's just crazy the way people are going. That I had to you know, I'm buying outsourcing my resources to buy at higher prices than the MSRP, only because I'm not looking to turn and burn product right now. It's just crazy, guys, how the market is right now, and upcoming year, this year is just going to be crazy. Enjoy the hobby however you see or can make it work for you. If not, try to find some other things to collect until it comes down to where you can enjoy it again. I've been opening up Bookworm and enjoying Bookworm. I do have Fortnite packs and stuff that I open up. I enjoy that. I have found other things that I've been enjoying opening. I play a lot more games and stuff, and sometimes I just sit back and think about how I want to, you know, do up the studio for the channel, and a lot of things set me back too. Like I said, I had a death of my father in January. Well, in December we lost him, but I had to go down in January. Got back in February. And then I ordered materials for the studio. You know, my gaming units that I wanted to put in here, and then tariffs and stuff hit and set back things. So my coin pusher is coming late July, mid to late August. So now that's set back again, and I ordered that in February, and again it's set back. So that's another thing for my studio. I'm being held back from doing anything in the studio for as far as like getting other systems that I want to put in place because of shortages and stuff that are going on, where I guess parts and stuff to build things are in short supply, but being held up in tariffs as well because they're coming from overseas. But man, I'm still on course to what I'm doing. I'm still enjoying the hobby, guys, regardless. I'm not opening a lot of packs. I'm opening other stuff, but I'm still buying heavy into the markets, guys. Buying into the markets. What makes sense to me, based on the data, you know, that is provided for me from other channels that I believe in. Like I said, I'm watching like-minded people that are doing the exact same thing. I'm avoiding all the noise. All right, avoiding all the noise that people are making about what's going on, distribution, and all that stuff. I hear, but I just keep the noise level low because I don't want to hear all of the stuff going on with that aspect. I'm just gonna keep going forward in staying on the path, staying on course, as Rudy says. That's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider hitting a like, subscribe, share out this video on all your social medias. And guys, as always, you know, I'll be back in the studio, guys. I left, but I'm gonna be coming back. And something prompted me to this video to do a video for you guys. And you know, I just want to bring some light to share with you guys on this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, with that said, I appreciate everybody who stopped by. Share this video on all your social medias. Let all ears hear, man, because this is stuff that people need to hear. You know, not just the dramatic side of video for clicks and views, but you know, the seriousness and the, you know, the complications and you know, the things that can happen to you, all right, in this hobby, all right? I want to be that lighthouse for you guys, all right? Really appreciate everybody stopping by. Have a great rest of the day. I'll be back here in another video. If it prompts me to do videos like this is how it will go. But, guys, you know, I look forward to the new studio and everything that we got going for it. I'll be back here. Without further ado, I'll see you guys on the next video. You guys have been awesome. Have a great rest of the day, first weekend, and I will see you guys on the next one. Remember to get out there and catch them all. And have what? Have a ball. And I'll see all of who? All of y'all in my next video. Do me now. Peace. Whole lot of love for you, and a high five. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.